Hi everybody, I'm here to report on last night's 2-1 defeat by Ferencváros in Budapest. But before we get to the grim reality, can I just start on a lighter note, a more pleasant note? As you can see here, I'm wearing this lanyard, which was given to me last week by a friend of mine who was visiting Budapest and doing a tour of the National Stadium, the Puskás Museum, all that kind of stuff. And he discovered this lanyard, which has Ferencváros's group badges of the teams they're playing on it, and obviously Europa League logo, and Rangers is one of the badges. I don't know if I'm pointing to the right one, but he thought I might like this. Well, I did like it. It was I'm very appreciative of getting it, but hopefully it won't remind me too much of last night's game, and certainly not of our group in the Europa League this season, which has been an absolute disaster. What can I say about last night? Well, it was a nothing game, two poor teams, an even game. I mean, they probably deserved to win it, but it was pretty even. Two poor teams. There wasn't a lot of excitement from either team. The most annoying thing from my point of view is that any Rangers team in the last, 6, 7 years, since Gerrard, would have beaten that team, home or away, comfortably. That's how average they were. Even last year's Rangers team would have beaten that lot. So to go down 2-1 just sums up how poor we are this season. If I think of the team selection, why he played Danilo is anybody's guess. That guy gives us nothing. He's too weak physically and mentally. I think he's actually a bit of a coward. He's too timid. He won't get stuck in. He won't go for 50-50s. So he gives you nothing. Any chances that come his way, he doesn't usually take. So why you're playing him up front is anybody's guess. I don't want to see that guy start for us ever again. And at best, I want him to be coming on with 50 minutes left at Ibrox and we're 3-0 up. That's the only circumstances I want to see that guy playing a Rangers team. He's absolutely hopeless. The rest of them, I suppose it's what you might have expected as the lineup, except maybe Aaron's ahead of Tavernier. So you've got two dud right backs in the same flank offering nothing, so that's not a good prospect. And then, of course, you've got the bomb scares in the middle of the defence. You've got the atomic bomb, Fernandez, and you've got the nuclear bomb in Giga. So with a bomb scared defence like that, it's amazing we only lost 2-1, to be fair. And having said that, sub Finlay Curtis could have equalised, 2 minutes from time, when he hit a good shot. It took a slight deflection and the goalie still had to dive and palm it round the post at the last second. So that could have been an equaliser. So well done, Finlay Curtis, somebody who actually has a shot from 16, 18 yards out. But that might have been unjust if we had snatched a draw. So anyhow, one of these games, not a lot happening. I say that, but in the second, third minute, one pass, the striker runs in and goal. He runs about 30 yards, and the worst part of it is Giga and Fernandez are either side of the striker. Neither of them trying to make a tackle, not even fouling him, not even sort of doing a sandwich and just squeezing them in between them. They just trot along beside him and he gets into the box and has a shot, and thankfully his low shot went past the far post. But two central defenders and neither actually tries to stop him, tries to tackle him, even foul him. Absolutely shocking. So that was the earliest scare. We had another couple, I think, in the first half before they scored. But amazingly, we actually opened the scoring. And it was a good goal because it started, I think, just in our area, just outside our area. And it was a poor pass to begin with. I think it was Fernandez. But it was helped on nicely by Barron. And I think it went to Gassama. Then it went across the other side of the park to Aarons. He fired across into the box. Danilo got it. His shot hit off, I think, the back of the defender. And there was Miovski doing a bicycle kick from about 6 yards into the net. What a goal. But of course, everybody thought it was offside. And then when VAR looked at it, it must have been 2 inches onside. The sort of ridiculous, measurements that puts a player offside or onside. But this time we got the benefit. So a goal up, and we went from there. It was pretty even in terms of possession. They probably had a couple more chances than us overall, but the whole game was pretty even in that sense. They weren't bombarding us, they weren't dominating the way the stupid manager Robbie Keane thought, although they did make better chances. So just get to 1-0 at half time, and who knows, maybe Rule will make changes and steady the ship, etc. No, last kick of the extra time in the first half, a good move up the right wing. We've got all sorts of guys out of position, missing tackles, not going into tackles. It goes to the byline practically. The guy who cuts it back had Magoma, I think it was, maybe it was Gassama, running towards them. So why did Raskin leave the man he was marking to join him in trying to close down the guy on the ball? Because when the ball came back across the face of the goal, there was a guy who had been marked by Raskin, nobody near him, shoots, takes a deflection, goes in the net. Typical. I'm fed up watching Rangers players 2 and 3 at a time going towards the opponent who's got the ball. One guy, that's all you need. The other people should be looking at runners off the ball, players who are going to get a pass, not both or three going towards the guy with the ball. That's a simple error that can be rectified. We've got coaches, we've got video analysts. Can none of them sit these guys down and show them clips like that where they run towards the same guy unnecessarily and open up a gap behind them or to the side of them? Unbelievable. Anyhow, what a time to go level from our point of view. Second half, much the same really. They had a few more chances, maybe. I can't remember us actually creating anything apart from right at the end that I've just mentioned earlier. So, second goal when it came, a 60-yard diagonal from their right to left. And there's Tavernier, nowhere near the right back position. He's sort of about 30 yards infield on the halfway line practically. So when the ball starts dropping, there's a guy running onto the pass. Nobody near him. Tavernier certainly nowhere near him. Running towards our goal. Tavernier managed to, I was going to say race back, but probably trundle back's the better word. He gets back anyhow. And then instead of closing him down, instead of trying to tackle him, he stands off him about 2-3 yards, lets the cross go in, and then the most ludicrous goal you'll ever see. Fernandez, that's atomic bomb, remember, he's got his back to the cross when it's coming in because he's too busy watching the striker. Then I don't know what he does, he turns this way and that, he gets the wrong side of the striker, with the result being the striker's got a free header on goal from 6 yards out, with Fernandez sort of lamely trying to grab his shirt, and it's in the net. Absolute shocking. It's Keystone Cops defending. For younger viewers who don't know who the Keystone Cops were, look it up on Google. But shocking goal to lose, and once we went behind, you knew that that was going to be it. So I don't know where you go from here. We've got a few weeks before we can bring anybody in, and it looks like we're not going to have Suter, and certainly not having Cornelius for another couple of months. So we need a central defender in January, ASAP. Giga going to the African Cup of Nations is no big loss. Let's hope we never see him play in a blue jersey again. But we need somebody in there, and please don't make it Tavernier. I hear people saying, put Tavernier in central defence. He can't even defend out in the flank, so it'd be even worse as a central defender who can't head the ball, doesn't know where opponents are, fails to mark, people can't tackle. Please do not put him there, or it really will be curtains. So, poor night, poor game, poor Europa League campaign. All I've got to hope for now is that the next game's at home against the Bulgarians, Ludogorets, and they're actually higher up in the league table than we are. But that was the one I earmarked as a definite win 2-3 months ago. I'm not so sure now, but if we've got to beat somebody this year in the Europa, it's Ludogorets. So we'll see what happens. Come January, we might have 2 or 3 new players that will be helpful to that, but who knows, we might not have. But that's all we can look forward to, if you can call it looking forward to it. Scottish Cup as well, that's our only hope of a bit of enjoyment this season. So 2-3 new players, especially if they can galvanise the better ones who are there, and we might have a chance of winning the cup. We're into the next round already. It's only Annan, but I said that last year about Queen's Park, so don't count our chickens. We've got enough chickens in the team without counting metaphorical ones. So let's see what we can do on Monday against Hibs. I'm not confident we'll beat them either.